Today, in a Rise crossover, we are gonna be covering the new Black Clover update. Let's get into it. As you might have already seen, I am standing on the new Lucky Kingdom Island, which is the Black Clover Island, where there are some new units and a new boss unit to get from a new dungeon. Basically, the Lucky Kingdom Island is a new addition that got added since the update, which happened last night for me, where we got 3 new basic units and a new boss unit. We got Sortudo, we got Michille, we got Wind, and we got the Time King. Now, this is very important because as of this edition of the Time King, the Time King is the second best unit, I'm pretty sure right now, besides the G-Rank Baru. Because G-Rank Baru is still stronger than the Time King on SS rarity, but the base stats of the Time King are really high. Like, if we go off base stats alone, and if we only had SS units, then the Time King is the best unit in the game. But since we do have G-Ranks, the Time King is a bit less stronger than the G-Ranks we currently have in the game. But however, since the obtainment of G-Ranks currently is really low, the Time King in the new dungeon that got added towards the Lucky Kingdom is basically now a really strong unit to try and get. Now, with that, of course, comes a very hard HP increase. So if you're gonna see a S level spawned dungeon of this area, you might have a very hard time if you don't have a party going on. So make sure to look for people to get through these dungeons, because you will need to do quite a lot of damage. Like I said, we got a whole new area, so let's just go around it a little bit while we go about the updates. So the shadows are, once again, differentiated across certain areas. There's one place you guys should definitely go for and farm a lot of cash and gems, which is this little area over here. Now, if you go stand right here, and if you got auto attack enabled, your unit should be able to go towards this wind unit, and the brute wind unit over here. Now, what you mainly would want to do is put on auto destroy and make sure you're kind of near this brute unit so you can destroy him for the gems, and of course get all the units for the cash. Because the new brute wind unit gives a lot of cash for killing one, and also a lot of gems for just destroying him. Now, you're gonna need these gems because the reset of like the Lucky Kingdom dungeon costs around 10 billion each reset, which is a lot of gems if you did not farm up a lot of gems yet prior to this update. So make sure to do this as fast as you can, so you can make sure to run a couple of Lucky Kingdom dungeons when they arrive. Now, I did glance over the other units pretty quickly because you're basically not gonna grind for these to get them to SS level, because if you kept doing the raids that came with the last update, you probably are mainly doing the raids to get your berries going on. As you can see, we actually do get 703 million gems for getting the brute killed, but you can basically skip the basic units. You don't really need them, and you're also probably not gonna SS them at this point. The only unit you could probably go and try and SS at this point is Wind, if you're still lacking a lot of Barus. But if you're doing just the classic Baru farming strategy, going AFK in some servers, or just like joining a lot of different servers and trying to get your Barus up, the unit you mainly would want to go for is just the dungeon unit. So make sure to always keep your eye out just for this Time King. Anyway, this is definitely the spot you should just head straight towards to. That will be your new farming spot for a lot of cash and also a lot of gems, which you will need for this specific dungeon. Now, we got some other fun stuff that actually got added. Now, I sadly don't have a G unit to kind of show this off, but if you now go to your shadows and click on one of your shadows, so let's go to one of our Barus, let's click the edit button, we can now nickname them. So let's say, so we can just rename them to Iceru, for example. Boom, there we go, and now it's called Iceru. But that's not the only fun thing that I've added. So besides nicknames, you can also skin your units. Now, this will cost tickets, so if you do not have a lot of tickets yet, don't worry about doing this at all. It's something you can just do and dump your tickets into if you really want to. But you can basically select one of your shadows that you want to change the appearance of, and it will change like just the animation. So it's going to change into the animation that you skinned it to. So let's say say I wanted to have my original Baru skinned towards a light admiral, it would show up as a light admiral doing the animations, but it would still count the stats of my Baru. So that's something you can do right now. So you can also just troll a lot of people. So let's say you have a G rank character and you got the Time King. You can make your Time King show up as a G rank, and you can troll a lot of people saying like, oh my god, I got a G rank Time King, which is basically not possible. So that's something funny you could do and troll a lot of people with that don't know yet a lot about this update. Right, and once you actually arrive on the island, what you also really should probably do is get to the boat shop and get your striker boat. Now, this boat is a little slower eventually, but the acceleration is so quick on this smaller boat that it's pretty much just better than the pirate ship at this point. It also got its own rarity, rated to rare, and I think the pirate ship actually got nerfed to uncommon. I'm pretty sure the pirate ship was rare before as well. But make sure to get your striker boat, because that will be your main boat if you're gonna be raid grinding a lot anyway, if you're going between this island and the end island over there. There's also 6 new swords added to the game, so if you head over to the weapon shop, you can buy 6 new swords at the weapon shop, but there's also a legendary sword that you can get. Now, the legendary sword is called the Twin Wyvern Vanquishers. Now, this is the new legendary weapon that got added with this update, alongside the other new rare weapons that we got for this specific update. Now, we did run one dungeon beforehand, and we actually did get one of the rare weapons from a dungeon drop. So once I go to my items and I look at my weapon, we got one of the steel Kopesh, which definitely upgraded our weapon to do a lot more damage. However, once again, you probably are not going to notice this a lot. I don't think I've basic attacked a lot in this game still anyway. But, you know, it's a nice addition. Maybe once I get a weapon that does like 5 trillion damage, I probably will notice it. But it's just a nice little backup damage that you can use to apply to some of the bosses. Now, they've also went with some improvements and changes. So the lock and destroy actions now do work based on your current visible shadows. So including any searches or filters that you have going on. They also fixed being able to buy the same game pass again after purchasing it with tickets. So let's say I bought a double XP with my tickets, and then I went back to the Robux shop. I could basically spend Robux again to buy the same game pass again. Of course, you're not gonna get like double XP. That doesn't work. So that's something they have fixed. And they did change some boat rarities. So when I pointed out that this boat over here, when the pirate ship, I thought it was downgraded from a rare to an uncommon, and they made the striker rare this time. I think that was it. And there are some smaller fixes, which are just some bug fixes that you probably might not have come across a lot, but if you did, they probably are fixed right now. So hopefully you don't get those pesky little bugs anymore, which are enemy-related bugs, shadow-related bugs, mount-related issues, dungeon-related bugs, raid-related bugs, drop-related bugs, and many minor bugs and optimization. And that's really it. The main thing you really should be doing is what I already showed off in the beginning of the video. Make sure you head over to this island if you have been grinding the raid a lot. Make sure to go into the castle, go to the backside where the wind brood is between 2 smaller wind units, stand in a little spot, and make sure to farm some cash and farm some gems from these, because you will definitely need it to farm the new Lucky Kingdom dungeon and get your Time King up to SS. Now, this is as much as they have added since last night in Arise Crossover, which was also kind of a surprise update, because I'm pretty sure it was not really announced. It just, they were like, yeah, we're gonna update the game, which was actually pretty nice, because I did not have this in mind at all. I thought it was gonna be alongside the weekend, so I'm pretty surprised in a good way. So if you guys liked this short little summary of the new Lucky Kingdom Black Clover update, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in a next new Arise crossover video. Have a fantastic lucky journey.